Yeah.
So,
but yeah, to sort of address what you said more specifically, like you said, do I think nothing created something? Well, no, because I don't think I don't know if I would say it's created. Like the word created sort of has the implication that there's some sort of like conscious decision there. As such, maybe I'm not entirely interpreting what you're saying correctly, but yeah.
You're an atheist.
Yeah.
That means without a God. But when you look outside at creation, creation points to a creator. Did you make everything?
Well, no. What I'm saying, like I just said, I don't believe that everything was created in the sense that I think you're using the word. Like I don't think that there's like an omnipotent creator, unmoved mover, or whatever you want to call it, that has like willed everything into existence.
So
I
how
think
did everything come into existence?
that is a pretty... Well, the best answer I can give is I don't know, and neither do you. But I think that
Why
if
do you believe
are
I don't know?
presupposing...
Why do you believe I don't know?
Well, because you don't. Nobody knows. You can't know.
You can know.
Like, if you want to say that... No, you can't. Like, I mean, if you want to say you...
trust the Bible.
Believe...
If I could...
Well, yeah, no, that's...
If I had a book...
Right, no, but hold on. It's called faith for a reason, okay? You don't know that it's true. You believe that it is. You have faith in it, but don't claim that you know because you don't.
Faith means certainty.
No, it doesn't. That's not what faith means at all. Faith is not a synonym for certainty, my friend. That is not true.
Biblical definition of faith. Now, faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen.
Yeah.
This would be the most concise biblical definition of faith. But what else does the Bible say about faith? The Greek word used most often in the New Testament is faith is pistis. This indicates the belief or conviction with the complementary idea of trust. Faith is not merely an intellectual stance, but a belief that leads to action. So
right. None of that is synonymous with certainty. If you were certain,
no. So listen. If I can test the Bible, right, I can test it, can't I? Like, I don't have to defend the Bible. So I can test certain aspects of it, can't I? So everything that I can test. Did Jesus walk on water? I don't know, I wasn't there. Yeah? Does that make sense? But there's elements.
Sorry, your audio isn't great. Can you repeat what you just said?
Did Jesus walk on water? I don't know, I wasn't there. But there's parts in the Bible that I can test.
Okay.
Have you ever tested the Bible?
Okay. Like what? What parts of the Bible can you test?
Archaeology.
Okay.
Do you believe there are... you know that
I can't follow.
There are a lot of cities underneath the sea, aren't there? Do you believe that there's random cities underneath the sea? Are you there?
What cities are you talking about? I'm no expert in... Look, I'm no expert in archaeology, so you're going to have to specify exactly what you're referring to.
I could show you. Because if the
or
places
you just
I don't...
tell me. I mean, you seem pretty...
So the top link is the evidence of Noah's Ark. Moses split in the Red Sea. Sodom and Gomorrah, that's one that breaks people's hearts because it's so obvious that the Bible's true.
Okay.
So you can look. I tried to disprove.
I mean, I would imagine if you yourself have looked into these in any great depth and actually believe these things to be true, you yourself could give a brief synopsis of these proofs. I mean, the Noah's Ark one looks like a YouTube video. That doesn't really strike me as a compelling piece of evidence. So
it's a place.
Yeah, I don't think there's any.
So if it's a place, there's multiple. You could go there yourself. It's in Mount Ararat in Turkey.
What place? What?
It's in Mount Ararat in Turkey. You can look with your eyes.
Yeah, but is there any actual evidence that Noah's Ark was ever even built, or that literally 2 of every animal? Like, do you literally believe that, like, 2 of every animal was taken onto the Ark?
Yeah.
You literally believe that happened?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, why?
Because of how the Bible described before the flood.
Yeah, but
so before
it sounds
the flood,
a bit like it sounds a bit nonsensical and like a bit like a fairy tale. Like
it does, but if I add in
doesn't the Bible also say that like Noah lived to be like, was it Noah or was it like Abraham that supposedly lived to be
old.
like? Yeah, like,
cool.
Do you believe that?
Yeah, cool. So when they dig up Neanderthals, you know what a Neanderthal is? Now, you know when you look at old men? What? Do you know when you look at old men? Yeah? Their foreheads keep growing. Their ears keep growing. Their jaws keep growing. So humans keep growing. What would a 900-year-old skeleton look like? If humans lived 900 years...
But they don't.
No, but if they did, what would they look like?
I don't know, and neither do you.
Do you think of... there's certain parts of the human body that never stop growing. Yeah? It might look like a Neanderthal, a skeleton, mightn't it?
And your nose grows for the entirety of your life, but once you're...
Yeah. Once you're 900 years old...
What?
If you live to be 900
years
old...
No. No. But we can't live for 900 years. Like, what are you talking about? Like, that's not possible.
Why is it not possible?
Because our bodies are not evolved to do that.
Do you believe in evolution?
Yeah.
Okay, so how does a caterpillar, through natural selection, evolve into a cocoon and then evolve into a butterfly? Take all the time you need. The floor is yours.
Are you asking me how, or like what exactly? Like, I'm not.
I don't want to get nasty with you, but I study science. I'm not stupid. So can you?
I'm not claiming that. I'm not claiming that you are stupid. I never even implied that you were stupid.
No. So can you tell me how the process of evolution over billions of years allows a caterpillar to evolve into a cocoon, to evolve into a butterfly?
I wouldn't be able to give you like probably the most coherent
logically
synopsis.
Vague
logic. You not hold on. Don't interrupt. I'm not interrupting you. So if you're going to ask me a question, you at least have to let me attempt to answer it. Yeah, I don't think I would be able to give you the most coherent synopsis of the entirety of the process, but as far as I understand it, evolution by natural selection, random genetic mutation, and all of the minutiae of those processes can pretty much explain every element of evolution, be that a caterpillar turning into a butterfly or Neanderthals, Cro-Magnons, and all that evolving into the human beings that we are today. Yeah, I mean, if you just like don't want to believe that, or if you just want to like appeal to incredulity, like if you can't like conceptualize that as an idea and just would rather believe that we were created in the image of God, you're perfectly entitled to your opinion, but I would just say that all of the evidence is very much stacked against you.
Show me one piece of evidence.
Pardon?
Show me one piece of evidence. Just tell me it.
Well, here's a better question. What evidence would actually change your mind? Like, is there any evidence that I or anybody else could show you that would actually change your mind?
So I'm autistic. How I came to my faith was trying to disprove the Bible. Through
that doesn't answer my question.
What's the process called? Critical thinking. I'm a critical thinker. So someone
you're
tells
not.
me,
But you're not. Okay, that's great.
So
but you're not answering my question. You're
I
not
see
answering
if
my
it's
question.
capable. So science is repeatable and testable. Yeah.
Yeah, it's falsifiable.
So, no. That's not the definition of science. Science is repeatable and provable. Theory is a belief section. It's a theory. It's a hypothesis.
The word no. That's a common misnomer. The word theory, when it's used in science, is not the same as it's used in other contexts. Like, a scientific theory is something that is repeatably testable and can be proven over and over again by the same test. Like the theory of evolution and whatever else. Like, when you say, it's not like...
Do you know what the Bible believes about evolution?
Why are you trying to, like, shift the argument? Like, well,
no,
you still haven't answered my question. Well, no, hold on.
Micro and macro evolution.
No. Hold on. You didn't answer my question. Like, what evidence would I need to show you to actually change your mind?
You would have to show me in the fossil records one species changing into another with a slow chain of animals evolving. So you see a monkey, you'd have to have like animals changing from one to the other in the skeleton slowly. You'd never really have a lot of the same skeleton, would you? Logically. There would be a constant shift in skeletons. We wouldn't be able to identify something or say, this is Tyrannosaurus Rex. This is a sheep. We'd just constantly see movement, wouldn't we, in the skeleton record? But we don't, because that doesn't make sense.
Do we not? Do we not? What then? No. What do we see in the fossil record then? Please enlighten me.
You see, species, they'll give after themselves. So all things follow. Like a crab's a crab. You can have a big crab, a small crab. We can create dogs, new breeds in a few generations. So we can. There's so much variation. You know about DNA and how it changes. You have epigenetics. So we switch on and off genetics. So we have so much dormant DNA, and it's turned on and off depending to our environment. So yeah, we can become different versions of the same model. I'm a human. I can have longer nails, and my child could have longer nails and darker hair, and all this kind of thing with dormant genetics.
But what does that have to do with my question?
So the species, the Bible says they will give after their own kind. A dog makes a dog. A cat makes a cat. A cat can be called a jaguar. Can be called a cat. But we don't see a change from species across species. I don't see that link.
Because this is the thing. Because evolution happens over an incredibly long period of time.
Just show me the
fossils. Hold on. Evolution happens over a very long period of time, and it's a very slow process. Mm-hmm. So it's not the kind of thing you can really observe in real time. But I mean, if you wanted a very basic example, is it not? Was it Charles Darwin, or who was the guy that like did the thing with like the
who flunked in college?
No. The guy who did like the thing with like the finches and like their beak shape like changed.
Yeah, dormant DNA. A finch is a finch. We agree with everything. Like people breed cats.
But why do you not think like why do you, when you say like dormant DNA or dormant genetics, like why do you think like that's only limited to like certain surface level characteristics? Like why do you not think like a species or an animal can evolve into something completely different over enough period? Like why is that so unbelievable?
Because I don't see it in the record.
Yeah, because like I just said, evolution doesn't, like you can't observe it in real time.
You can see it through the skeletal record. If you're intelligent, when you look at the evolution that's taught in a book, the proof of evolution is the arrows drawn between them. That's what the evidence is. Here's a picture here, and here's another thing here, and the arrow is the evidence. This turns to this because this arrow goes here, and they tell you that. I mean, science tells you a boy can be a girl now, so I don't really trust science. I trust my brain and critical thinking.
That's a complete non sequitur to what we're even talking about.
But do you put your faith in something you can't test?
Well, you can test science.
Yeah, you can test science, but you can't test theory.
A scientific theory is something that is testable. I've already told you that. You don't understand the word theory if that's what you think.
Okay, let's just go with the definition of theory.
Like I said before, a scientific theory is not.
You're so brainwashed.
No, I'm not. You're just being deliberately ignorant. If you're thinking like a theory, Kent Hovind, I know that guy. He's a complete fraud, and everybody knows that.
Have you watched his videos?
I've seen, unfortunately, yes. I've seen him debate some guy on YouTube about. He's like the most.
You think he's a fraud?
Well, is he not in jail for tax fraud or something? I mean, obviously that's a bit different to his creationist beliefs, but his actual, if you want to say you've studied science and you've committed your life to trying to disprove the Bible, and that's how you arrived at your faith, and the best person you could name is Kent Hovind. That's kind of embarrassing. I'll be completely honest with you, because his whole trying to square the circle thing with creationism and science is complete garbage, and he's the most disreputable.
Why does someone attack the characters? I practice debates and studying. When you can't answer the question, attacking the character, not the information is presented. That's a bit.
I'm not.
Do you understand?
I'm saying he's a bad person. I'm just saying his arguments. What?
You can debate him.
When did I attack his character? I didn't say he's a bad person. I didn't say he's horrible. I didn't attack his character. I'm saying the stuff that he peddles is the most Okay,
so you believe in evolution theory, which is science, and it lasts a million years.
But hold on. But again, you don't seem to want to. You don't seem to want to bite the bullet.
I was an atheist for 30 years. I was gifted in science.
Okay, I don't care. I'm just saying, if that's true. Hold on. If
Mr. Price was my teacher. I loved him to pieces.
Right, great. That's good for you. I'm just saying, if you actually studied science in any serious way for 30 years, you should know what a scientific theory is.
Yes,
it's not just
I do.
Something.
And I know what the scientific method is. And if you can't apply it to a theory, it doesn't happen. You can't do it. There's a scientific method, and then there's equations as well. So we don't have those with evolution. We have lines in a book, and it's still got the word theory.
So hold on. So you think lines in a book are the only evidence for evolution?
It's in theory. Well, basically, that's how you're taught it. And if you say the wrong answers, if you go against it, you don't get ticked on a book. Oh, okay, cool.
No, how you're taught something and how something is studied by actual scientists are often two very different things.
So how did the DNA structure happen? The double helix.
Again,
how can that evolve?
Hold on. Again, you're appealing to incredulity. Just because you can't understand how it happened doesn't mean, therefore, God. You're doing the God of the gaps argument.
I'm not doing God of the gaps argument.
You are.
I'm asking you a question. How can one thing, wet rock, an explosion, which is what's it called? Thermodynamics. An explosion which causes chaos and never can create order. You can't create order out of chaos. Yeah.
Okay.
An explosion happens. We form a rock. Water rains on the rock, making a soup, a primordial soup. Yeah. Lightning apparently strikes it. This is the theory. And then life happens. What does the live feed?
This is like
What does it replicate?
you're literally like
no, I'm telling you. I'm telling you what you believe.
I've heard these like you're regurgitating basically word for word the shit that Kent Hovind comes off with because he doesn't understand what he's talking about, and neither do you. It would seem.
But does anybody understand what they're talking about? Because it's just an idea. We weren't there. We're talking billions of years ago. Trusting something you can't prove.
Well, you can't prove the Bible either.
Of course you can.
No, you can't.
Okay, do you want to randomly test the Bible with me now, live?
What is there to test?
Anything that can be tested. Let's just do it now, live. Well, I don't defend the Bible. I'm going to grab it. Just wait there. Stay. Don't run away.
No, I'm not going to. No, I'm not going to waste my time. Okay, this is like autism, obviously.
What are you talking? Like, I'm a high functioning autism. I'm not an idiot. You're like, I'm just intelligent. I'm just studying.
But like, I'm not here to like go through the Bible with a fine.
No. We'll just go through.
We'll
just open it randomly.
Test that.
Well, you said you can't taste the Bible.
You can answer me. You can answer me in a second.
What are you scared of?
Pardon?
What are you scared of?
No, I said you can't prove the Bible.
Okay, so I said, why don't we test it?
I'm not scared of any.
So you can't prove the Bible, but I'm saying we can open up a random page. You pick a number. Hang on, count how many pages there are. We'll read till we find something we can test. There are, I think there's 1,100 pages. 1,100 pages.
What are we doing? What are we doing right now? Like, what do you think the purpose of this is? Like, what are you trying to prove exactly?
I don't have to defend this book. I can test it. I can be on your side and play devil's advocate.
Okay.
And it'll defend itself. The truth doesn't mind being tested.
So you think everything in the Bible can be tested, like the creation story.
We can't test that, can we?
The garden.
We can't test that. I mean,
exactly,
so there's certain things we can test and certain things we can't.
No. But why would you believe?
I tried to disprove that. Well, I had faith. So the Garden of Eden, we have five rivers that go around the earth.
It's not. So don't call it certainty. Don't say that you know this happened. You believe that it did.
Why don't we just test it, bro?
I don't believe that it did.
That's fine.
No.
We both can't be right.
The fundamental difference. The fundamental difference is that
you're arguing and wasting time.
Oh my god. Because you're so like unwilling to have a conversation.
I used to believe what you believed, bro.
I don't care what you used to believe or what you even still care. I don't care what people think. I care how people think. And it seems like the way that you have reached your conclusion is by the most like intellectually dishonest garbage thinking ever. Yet you have the audacity to be like, oh, I'm a critical thinker. I look at evidence. No, you fucking don't. You can say Kent fucking Hovind as a reputable fucking like intellectual on anything. Like, give me a fucking break.
We can test it.
If you're just gonna like, keep repeating. Well, I just named the fucking creation story in the Garden of Eden, and you already fucking conceded. Oh, that can't be tested. So there you go.
It can't be tested, can it? So anything we can test, we test. Well, anything we can't, we can't. Simple.
So what can be what can be tested in the Bible that can't be explained by evolution?
Names,
no,
numerology, prophecy, everything inside and outside of the Bible. Any way you want.
What can? Once you're finished, I'm going to restate my question because you're still not answering it. What is in the Bible that can be tested that can't be explained by science or anything else that I've already touched upon? What can only be explained? No. I'll rephrase the question. What is in the Bible that can be tested that can only be explained by the existence of God?
Lot.
Name me one thing.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
And how can that be tested?
Okay, God said He destroyed 2 cities with brimstone and fire.
How can that be tested?
Well, there's going to be 2 cities exactly where it said it was, burnt by brimstone, which is sulfur.
That doesn't mean that like the story literally happened and like fucking people turned into pillars of salt and shit like that.
Well, there'd be a woman with a pillar of salt. I could go show you that one as well. Exactly where it said it.
Sorry, what?
There would be a woman turned into a pillar of salt. That's a great example. I can show you it. It's the first 20 minutes on the top. Yeah. Didn't leave my brain at home when I became Christian. Everything that you say that can be tested.
If you so like
the first 20 minutes, the 5 hours.
No, hold on. Hold on. Just pause for a second. So you struggle to believe, like you're like having a difficulty in understanding or believing in evolution by natural selection because we don't see differences in the skeleton structure in the fossil records. Yeah, you struggle to believe that, but you have no idea swallowing the idea that a woman was literally turned into a pillar of fucking salt.
No.
Like, Jesus. Well, then you're just fucking retarded. Like, I'm sorry, but like that's like if you're actually like it's an insult to fucking like intellectual inquiry if you actually.
So why don't we just look at the pillar of salt and see what you think?
What pillar? Like, what are you like? What, if you can find me a pillar, no, hold on, no.
The
if you
first
can find me like
20
evidence
minutes
of like,
in the top video, it's there. I can show you. You can go on holiday to it.
Yeah,
it's in Jordan.
If you can show me a pillar of salt in this supposed area that can be proven was once a human female person, I will eat fucking crow for the rest of my goddamn life because you will never find.
Don't say
you will never find. You will never find such a thing.
Okay, the top video. It's the first 20 minutes.
A YouTube video is not. A YouTube video is not evidence. Okay?
Why is it not? You tell me why it's not.
Because anybody can make a YouTube video about anything. Like,
thousands of people go to it. There's 2 cities of millions of people burned to ash.
A YouTube video is not like. I could show you a YouTube video of evolution and be like, oh, well, I don't believe it.
No, but if you could show me a YouTube video of evolution, if it's possible to do it, I'd watch it, but it's not possible. It happens over billions of years. So if you could, I
don't mean of evolution literally being observed. I mean of the actual process being
if I said to you
greater
the
detail
Colosseum,
than just arrows, there are
Colosseum
multiple
in
videos of that nature out there. And if you like actually want to go and watch them, I would implore you to do so. But a YouTube video saying like, here's 2 cities and here's a pillar of salt that was once a fucking woman, like that is like anybody can pull that shit out of their ass.
Yeah, cool, crazy.
Yeah, I don't think you understand what good evidence actually is.
2 giant cities, the material that they use is limestone, that when it reaches a certain temperature turns into the chemical that the ash is made of. Every 2 to 3 meters, 99.6% pure balls of sulfur, which you can light to this day. He salted the area like it said, and then at the end of the city, there's a pillar, and then a woman looking back at that on top of the pillar. This is why I bring it up, because the evidence has to be as crazy as the story. Yeah.
So that's.
What about Noah's Ark? Do you think that they found Noah's Ark? A big boat? Pitch it on the inside and outside? Well, there'd have to be a boat, wouldn't there?
Except there isn't.
Okay, cool. Have you looked?
Yeah.
You've looked?
I have.
Okay, cool.
No, I haven't literally gone out to the fucking mountain in Turkey or wherever it supposedly happened, but like, there's been no archaeological evidence of Noah's Ark at all.
Do you know that guy that goes like that?
Are you talking about like the meme or something?
Yeah, the guy that goes, look, just simply.
Yeah.
It's there in your chat.
Yeah, these are all YouTube videos. Like,
what's wrong with a YouTube video?
It's not actual. It's not.
So, is a science book with drawings in it evidence of evolution?
I mean, pretty much.
What?
When compared,
do you understand the double standards?
When compared,
fucking idiot, bro. You're not educated because you're not in a malleable position to learn and listen. You're having someone say to you, "Look."
But why would I listen to a YouTube? Why would I trust a YouTube video over a science textbook?
Are you joking? Anyone could write a book. It's a serious
question.
Anyone could write a book. This book and anyone can make anyone can make a fucking YouTube video. No, but if it's a place, it's a little bit different, isn't it? It's not a cartoon. No. It's not a place. If I go to the Colosseum, it's the Colosseum. Okay. You look and it's the Colosseum.
But what do these places exist? Like, the Bible was obviously written by human beings of the time. Just because they wrote about places that actually existed and still do doesn't mean that everything in the Bible is true.
Do you know about prophecy? Have you heard about people?
I'm familiar with the concept of prophecy. Okay. I don't believe in it, but sure.
Okay, so do you know all the countries that are about to nuke us? I mean, do you
no,
watch the news? Are you up to date with global politics?
I follow a bit. I wouldn't say it. I don't spend an inordinate amount of my time.
Okay, so China and Russia have nuclear missiles at 7 times the speed of Mach. If they press the button, we're gone.
So is this going to be like a
You're dead,
sort
basically.
of messy attempt to try and tie this into like Revelation or something?
Yeah, of course it is.
Okay.
Why do you think every religion?
What is So does Revelation specifically say China and Russia are going to nuke us? Is that what it says?
Gog and Magog, the kings of the east, will bring a 200 million man army across the river Euphrates. The river Euphrates is drying up as we speak. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. Okay. So what's the point you're trying to make here?
Okay, so if the Bible says something, I write these things before so that you know that I'm God. Only God knows the future, and if God tells you what's going to happen in the future,
there's nothing in the Bible that couldn't have been written by the humans of the time.
Cool. Do humans know the future?
Humans can write in increasingly vague ways that can be aggressively reinterpreted over time. That doesn't mean they're predicting the literal future.
Why do you hate God?
I could write a book right now.
Why do you hate God?
I could. Why are you just like trying to derail the conversation?
I'm not. I'm just thinking more spiritually. Like you're angry towards God.
No, I'm angry towards intellectually. I'm not even angry. I'm just
intellectually dishonest people.
Yeah,
I run it. Okay, I'll be really honest with you. I run a YouTube channel. No, it's cool.
Like but I'm going to keep talking. I could write a book right now in 2023, and I could write like the most wishy-washy, vague stuff about what may happen in the future, and then I could be dead and buried, and this book could be rediscovered in like 2,500 years, and there could be like it's like a fucking horoscope. Like it could be like so reinterpreted and like molded to fit a current narrative or story in however people like. So the idea that like people literally knew the future back when the Bible was being written is obviously not true. But again, I will repeat it, for those in the back. There's nothing in the Bible that couldn't have been written by people of the time. Right? If this was like supposedly a book written by an omniscient being, like if there was something in the Bible about like the double helix of the DNA or some shit like that.
You know that God's name is written in Yahweh Vavhe is in the DNA helix.
What?
Let me show you an article. I like your laugh. I want to keep that level.
There's no point. Like this is the thing. Like there's no point in this like even being a discussion because you can't reason somebody out of a position that they didn't reason themselves into. Like you haven't arrived at this position through reason and critical thinking like you claimed. Like you're just. I don't know what your problem is. Like if you were like an atheist or an actual like scientific or independent critically minded thinker for 30 fucking years, and now all of a sudden you're just like deep throating the Bible like uncritically. Like I mean, again,
just listen to this guy. Say what you said again to my friend and see if he's on the money. Just say what you said again about how I test the Bible. Please, because I want to
if that's what you want to do, that's your prerogative, man. But
so
don't
try. Go on, make us laugh.
Sorry, what?
You were saying that I don't test the Bible. I'm biased towards it.
It's not what I said.
Well, just repeat what you said. Repeat what you said.
Well, I said a lot, so you need to be specific.
Just repeat what you said.
Well, what I said was the fact that you were an atheist and a proponent of science by your own words.
Yeah, I love science.
For 30 years.
Yeah. I still love science. I still now. 36 years. Still now. Love science. Absolutely love it.
Okay, well, now that you're just like deep throating the Bible and Kent Hovind and all these other like incredibly foolish people. If that's what you want to do, that's your prerogative. But
it's not foolish, mate.
Oh, who's your friend?
Yeah, I've just come back from skating. Hello, pal.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm alright, how are you?
Tell me about numerology.
You know there's numerology underneath the whole Bible?
Tell me about numerology.
So, is this like a 2v1 thing now, or what's?
No, I'm not Ving anybody. I've just come back and I've just been skating.
I taught him numerology, and he's going to tell you about it, and you're going to listen and tell us that it's a man-made book. Go tell him about numerology.
Well, I mean, obviously, religion
obviously, if you listen to him,
religion itself is a man-made thing.
Cool. Just listen to him, and then you can learn. Then you can tell me if man can do this.
So the numerology underneath the Bible is in the text. There's pictures and numbers underneath it all, and it portrays the message that's God speaking. And there's over 40 authors of the Bible. It took over 1,500 years to write. They didn't know each other, and all the numerology matches up. Can you explain that?
So what numerology is? It's the Hebrew and the Greek. The language is spoken in three ways. Every letter has a corresponding number. Every letter has a corresponding picture. Those numbers have scientific equations and patterns all the way through the Bible. They interlink. They interlink into 66 books, perfectly fit each other. That's
over 40 different authors who didn't know each other actually matched
so
it up.
you have Christians, famous people who are on your notes, used to study the Bible to find the science in it. And study it through numbers. So there's like Strong's Concordance. You see the Bible as a text. You see the Bible as a linguistical text, but underneath it there's a mathematical text. Underneath that there's a pictographic text.
That's certainly news to me.
I know. But if you read this one, Chuck Missler, Knowing God, an Extraterrestrial Message. It's nothing to do with aliens. It's talking about how God is outside of the Bible. He's not inside of time.
Okay, so that would make him an unfalsifiable concept.
Just you're trying to twist the words instead of.
No, I'm no.
I'm making a statement that can be tested.
No, excuse me. By definition, I'm not trying to twist your words. By definition, that would make him an unfalsifiable concept.
Well, no, he can come into time if he wants to. He's just outside.
How convenient of him.
Well, Jesus is Jesus. He came into time, didn't he? Do you understand quantum?
If you in fact believe that he, in fact believe that he existed,
do you believe that Jesus didn't exist as a historical figure?
Well, he never wrote anything down, so
no. Listen, do you believe that do you believe in Julius Caesar?
Well, historical records would seem to support his existence. Yeah,
cool. Historical records
like
Jesus Christ existence as well.
Jesus Christ is a lot more documented than Julius Caesar. Or any
is he
though?
Yes. Yeah, he's documented by a lot of the Roman generals.
You can by all means believe that he wasn't God. That's fine. But a person called Jesus died on the cross for claiming these things.
Then I'm sure he was just a very eccentric preacher who probably thought he was God.
But that's amazing. You're entitled to think that. That's fine. Not a problem.
I know I am. Yeah, but
okay. So, but to deny that he didn't exist, it's laughable. Because
he might not have. I mean,
he did. He did. It's like it's a fact.
I mean, Socrates might not have existed. He
only had a few books of his copy of his books. I understand Socrates. I looked into it.
Socrates, he only I've looked into that. Of Plato and his students. But I'm perfectly happy to acknowledge that he may not have existed, but I don't claim that he died for my sins. But
that's fine. I know you don't. You don't believe in prayer. You don't believe in.
Hey mate, if you're an apostle who followed Jesus, right? And you were about to get crucified. Simon got crucified upside down. Peter got crucified upside down, right?
Okay.
So, say for example, you're following this Messiah who claims that he's talking all this nonsense and this. Well,
I wouldn't.
No, but listen. Let me finish.
Hypothetically.
And hypothetically speaking, if you're with Jesus and you think that this is all a game and it's all an act, right? And he gets killed, he gets crucified. But then you carry on saying that he's risen, and then what would you do? Which is the natural human reaction when you're about to go to your death, and you know it's all false, and people are like, if you don't deny this, we're going to crucify you. You turn around and go, oh, sorry boys, sorry, it was a mistake, don't kill me, I'm just joking. But they went to their deaths knowing what the truth is.
Why do people die for the faith to this day?
People can be led to believe all sorts of delusions.
Okay. Why is the date the date that it is? Why does the date point back to the crucifixion? You ever thought that?
What date?
It's all AD and BC.
Before Christ, after death. Anno Domini.
And have you looked into pop culture at the minute with how they're all worshipping Satan and
Why is it anti-Christian?
Why is it
anti-Christian?
There's about 6 different questions being asked at the one time.
Well, no, they're just statements. It's logical.
No, it all relates to the same question, mate. It all relates to the same question.
No, stop. If one person could talk at a time, that would be great.
Do you believe Jesus existed?
Probably not.
There's actual documentation outside of the Bible.
Okay, that's fine.
Proves
If he did exist, it doesn't make any difference to me because I don't believe that he was God.
That's fine. Not a lot of people do.
No, but like how
not a lot of people. Okay, fine. Well,
no, but how
okay.
the universe was created, when you think about it, how it was engineered. Like an architect who designs a building.
It doesn't have answers.
It's all structured and immaculate, isn't it? Right. So you look at life. Everything's got a purpose. Everything fits into place. Even parasites like fleas have got a purpose. Even though they're irritating, they've got a purpose in life. Something has designed it. It's not just happened by chance.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of things that exist in the world that have pretty horrible purposes, but you have to believe that God created them anyway.
So if God created the universe and what we see around us, which is unfathomable, then why is it ridiculous that God could exist in three different places at once? He can definitely do that because he exists outside of space, time, and matter. That's why.
Well, if you believe in God, then you can probably believe that he could do literally anything and everything. But
mate, I got experiences and things happen to me.
I'm sure you've had experiences that have reaffirmed your faith in many ways, and that is your business. Okay, I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to like invalidate your own personal experiences.
Yeah, I understand that, mate. We're
not
here
but what I am saying, what I was trying to say to your friend there was like, the bottom line is the burden of proof is not on me; it's on you because you are your friend at least anyway.
We care about you, man. That's why we're not showing you this to try and beat you in an argument. We're just trying to point you to the truth because we care about you, man. It's not trying to best you.
Well, I mean,
we're not trying to best you here, mate.
Well, I appreciate the sentiment. I mean, I have, but it's not for me.
What does your worldview give to you? What benefit does atheism have?
What benefit does atheism have?
Yeah, so if I believe in Jesus, pretend he's not real and I'm just gullible, it teaches me to love my enemy. It teaches me to love my neighbour as myself. Honour my mother and father. Don't worship idols. Help people.
Okay, but you can get that from other things.
What does your beautiful would the world be if we lived by just the 10 Commandments alone? How beautiful of a place would it be if we all lived by them?
But we don't need the 10 Commandments to know right from wrong.
Well, yeah, God said He placed in His heart the 10 Commandments in your heart. Our law system is based on the Bible.
But our sense, like any sense of like morality and right and wrong.
Where does it come from?
It predates the Bible.
No, where does it come from? Where does that come from? Where does good and do you have your own truth?
The Bible's
if in my truth it is to come and kick you in your shin every Monday morning.
No. Why do you ask me a question and then immediately cut across me when I try to answer you?
Because I've got ADHD.
Well, that's your problem, not mine. But if you're going to ask me a question, you have to at least let me answer it. Otherwise, you're obviously just not interested in actually having a fucking conversation. Okay? So your question was, where does morality come from? Or something to that effect.
What benefits do? Yeah, the question is this: what is good about your viewpoint? How does your viewpoint change your life?
How does my viewpoint change my life?
You're an atheist. You believe we all turn to a bit of dust after we die, and this is just chance. How does that affect your life?
Because it means I have nothing to die for and everything to live for. I believe this is the only life that I have, so I'm going to live it the best that I can and try to leave the world in a better place than I found it, and try not to treat anybody like shit while I'm here. But I'm not one of these people that thinks that I'm going to go to heaven or hell after I die, and my life should reflect like where I want to go after I die, because I think this is the only life I have. So I have nothing to die for, and I have everything to live for. That's how atheism affects my life.
Just hang on a minute, 2 seconds. Have you got any kids?
No.
Right, so basically, I'll explain it to you. Is right. Say you've got a son, yeah.
Yeah.
And you've brought him into this world, and you're going around seeing people, and he's going around seeing people and stuff, and he says, "How's your dad doing?" And they turn around and go, "Oh, I don't believe in my dad. He doesn't exist. He never created me. He doesn't exist." How would you feel about that? Would you shun him out of your life?
Well, no, because he's my son.
But how would you feel if he continually denied you and said you
I
don't
would,
exist?
I would feel as though he would be a very confused child, considering I'm right there in front of him, and we can.
But then
you know,
he was. But then he was right.
We can biologically prove that I'm his biological father and all that.
But then
stuff.
even if you could prove that, and he was right there in front of you, and he was still denying that you existed.
I mean,
how
I
would you feel?
understand that you're trying to like appeal to the emotion of God and be like, "Oh, I'm hurting God's feelings."
Yeah, but he created us in His image, so He's gonna. Well, have his feelings.
I don't believe that to be true.
So you believe you won the lottery to be born a human?
How do you feel like we got? How did we get here then?
There's two different questions being asked, so which one am I expected to answer?
You go first.
So you believe in random chance, and you won the lottery to be a human, not just a piece of bacteria or a ladybug or a bird.
I wouldn't exactly say I won the lottery, because life is still full of a lot of pain and suffering. But it's pretty cool. Having a conscious experience. It's pretty cool being self-aware. But it also has its downsides. I'm aware of my own mortality. I'm aware of a lot of other things that are a sad reality of life. It's certainly interesting to think about how just fantastically unlikely all of this really is, but that I just don't have the inclination to try and refer that up to a celestial creator that supposedly
engineered and designed. Life has been designed.
This is really nice what you just said then. Fantastically unlikely.
Yeah.
Okay. So, if God was real, and we could test everything, those 5 videos, this is what I do. I talk to people and I show them the evidence. Now, I'm going to say this one thing. If my worldview was true, that means heaven's real. That means that it's completely free to get to heaven. Yeah, it's not about you, it's about God. Yeah? And you live for eternity where everything's perfect. Yeah? So, I want my view to be right. I would think that you would want my view to be right, because everything could be perfect.
No, actually, that's not to interrupt you, but that's where you're wrong. That's the other thing. I don't want to live for eternity. I do want to die eventually. Like, I don't want to be conscious for the rest of forever. Like,
if it was perfect,
perfection.
Yeah, if everything was perfect.
Something. No, but here's the thing. Something is only perfect when you know it comes to an end. The minute you realize it's going to go on forever, it stops being perfect. Like
no. If it couldn't stop being perfect, just put it like, hypothetically. Yeah.
Maybe this isn't the best example to use, but I feel like it illustrates my point quite well. There's a Netflix show called The Good Place that deals in a lot of moral philosophy and the afterlife and shit.
I don't watch Netflix.
Well, great show, 4 seasons, very bingeable. I would recommend it very highly. But they kind of, mild spoilers, but in the last season, they go to the good place, the afterlife, and everybody is just, because it's so perfect and wonderful, and you can have anything and everything you want and eternal happiness, they eventually turn into mindless zombies that just don't get any joy out of anything. So I think what people find most uncomfortable about their own death is eventually you'll be tapped on the shoulder and told the party's over and you have to leave. That's, I think, what frightens people about dying. So in order to make themselves feel better, they believe in this idea that great news, the party is going on forever and you can't leave. That doesn't sound preferable to me. I don't want to live in a world where I'm a subservient thing to a God that I never even asked for, and I have to live my life for him. Otherwise, I am going to go and burn in hellfire.
You don't have to live your life for him. You choose to.
Well, it's not really a choice if the option is burning in hellfire for all eternity. That's not really much of a choice.
No, God gives you free will. You have free will.
Yeah, but if I don't choose
That's
what
your choice.
No, but if I don't choose... It's not really a choice. If it's like, you have to believe him, otherwise you get eternal punishment in hellfire. That's not a choice.
It's a just God. So if I came over and killed your mum, would you want the judge to not punish me?
I would, but the punishment needs to be proportionate to the crime, and I don't think burning in hellfire for all eternity is a proportionate punishment for the sins of this guy in a garden somewhere.
Are you perfect?
I never claimed that I was.
No, I'm not perfect. I'm just covered by.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody.
That's why I'm smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody, literally anybody in all of history, deserves to burn for all time. Like maybe Hitler or Stalin, maybe they deserve to burn for like 50 or 100 years, but at some point,
if you were leading, okay, well, do you think
at some point you would have to say mercy? But it's like, no, God.
There is mercy. There is mercy. It's faith alone.
Oh, fuck off! It's like you're so dishonest, and like you're just not even listening.
That's what the gospel is. It's not about you. I'm not being dishonest. It's about faith in Jesus. That's all it is.
Okay,
faith
so
in
that's
Him.
what you're saying. That's like nothing. That's what you're saying.
Nothing just God. Nothing can separate you from God.
Yeah, but this is what you're saying. Like nothing that an individual person does actually matters. It's all about Jesus.
To a point, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's not the kind of life that I want to live.
Okay, where does your morals come from?
So we're just like shifting the argument to morality now.
No.
Well, I would say morality is, well, I mean, my morals and your morals are probably quite different. Well, maybe not entirely different, but different enough. And then my morality might be different to somebody else's morality who lives in like the Middle East or whatever. So it's all subjective and maybe even arbitrary if you want to get down to like philosophical bedrock. But the minute you try and like say it's objectively based in the Bible, is just like a dead end argument.
No. God placed the 10 Commandments in your heart, so you'll know. God.
Yeah, but but here's the thing: if we didn't know, like the whole 10 Commandments story, like the Exodus from Egypt and going up to Mount Sinai.
That's there. That's there. You just haven't looked.
That's not what I'm trying to say. But like, if you believe in that story, which
I know it's true because I look at the evidence.
No, you don't. But
yeah,
okay,
I do. That's why I believe. Yeah, I do.
No, you don't. No,
I do. That's what I do.
Okay. Yeah, good for you. Well, if you believe in that story, if you believe in that story,
it's really good for me.
Yeah, if you believe in that story, then presumably, well, if the 10 Commandments are written on our hearts, like you just said, why would Moses even need to go up and get the stone slab and be like, "Hey guys, don't kill each other, don't murder, don't covet and shit like that," because presumably we already know.
You know that.
So if we didn't have an intrinsic sense of right and wrong, we would have never got to the foot of Mount Sinai without raping and killing each other in the process.
People do horrible things all the time. Do you believe that women should kill their own babies in the womb because of inconvenience?
So are you just trying? This is what I'm saying. Like, like if this is ADHD, I don't know if this is ADHD or just like intellectual cowardice, but like the minute I even slightly corner you on a point, you just completely like shift the goalposts to a completely separate thing.
Just go on, elaborate.
Well, I feel like I just did. Like we don't need to be told in a Bible or anything else really what is right and wrong. We need like some guidance, but that doesn't have to come from the Bible. It doesn't have to come from Christianity. Like morality and right and wrong and any sense of a moral framework predates the Bible anyway. It's not to say like morality never existed until the Bible was written. So we don't need the Bible to have a moral conversation. So
you think that we can make up our own morality?
Yes.
Okay, what is your morality towards the 10 Commandments? Do you think that they're wrong? We do things that are wrong, but do you think that we know that they're wrong?
I think most people have an inherent sense of... I don't know if I would say most people have an inherent sense of good and bad, but I'd say most people have an inherent sense of what is fair and unfair and what is just and unjust, okay?
Seems to match up with the Bible.
Right. But that's because it was written by humans who already knew these things. They weren't just told them by God. Again, there's nothing in the Bible that couldn't have been written by the humans of the time.
Okay.
Including the Ten Commandments, by the way.
Okay. Yeah, it was like. Okay. So if the Bible was describing the world that's happening now, prophecy, and it was happening true, if the Bible said something thousands of years ago, multiple times, that described the times you're living in, would that prove that the Bible's true?
No, it wouldn't. Because, like I said, it's like a horoscope. Like, you could write something incredibly vague and ambiguous that can be aggressively reinterpreted to fit a current situation in the world. That doesn't prove that it's actually prophetic. Like, you could read a horoscope in the newspaper, and you'd be like, oh my god, like, this is so accurate to my life.
Shall I read something now that's interesting? I'm going to say this. I want you to see if this kind of fits today. But mark this: there will be terrible times in the last days. People will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud, abusive, disobedient to parents, ungrateful, unholy, without love, unforgiving, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, not lovers of good, treacherous, rash, conceit, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying its power, have nothing to do with such people.
So that, like I said, is...
Does that describe people of the 1950s, or does that describe people now more so?
That describes people throughout all of human history, including in biblical times.
Okay. What about the formation of Israel?
No. People have always loved money and always been disrespectful and always been selfish. Like, obviously humans aren't perfect. So this whole thing of like, oh my god, this is like so accurate. Like, and you're saying like in the end, like, is the rapture like right around the fucking corner?
Yeah,
or like
you know about the rapture.
Well, yeah, I'm not fucking stupid, but like, are you trying to like say like we're in the end days and
So if the rapture happened and all the Christians disappeared off the earth, if it happened, hypothetically, if it happened, you'd know that the Bible was true, wouldn't you?
I mean, I would probably have to believe it at that point, or I would have to believe some element of it.
Hallelujah! Listen, it's 1:20.
That's never going to happen. That's never going to happen.
Fine. It's 1:20 in the morning. I've got to go for church tomorrow, so I'm going to leave it there. But if it did happen, cool. You know about the rapture.
A, it's never going to, and B, I'm at least willing to concede that there are things that might change my mind. You, on the other hand,
no, that's fine. That's fine.
But you're not willing. But you're not willing to do the same.
That's fine. I constantly test the Bible.
Okay, sure.
I do. I offered to open up the Bible and test it randomly with you live.
I mean, I like how you said live, as if like this is like an organized debate with an audience or something. Like,
we could do that. I've got a YouTube channel. You're going to be on it. Like, you can test my YouTube channel.
I'll pass. Thanks for the offer, but
it's fine. You see yourself on it. You see me on it. You won't see you.
Okay. Well, I maintain my point that there's nothing in the Bible that couldn't have been written by the humans of the time.
That's fine. But if the rapture happens, then you might change your mind.
Yeah. Cool. Sure. Well, I mean,
cool. If it happens,
I'm sure there's prophecies in.
If it happens.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there's prophecies in the Quran that if they came true, you might have to believe.
I study the Quran. I've been debating Muslims.
Isn't there prophecies in the Quran as well?
There are prophecies in the Quran that haven't come true.
If they came true, you know,
yeah,
I might have to believe
become Muslim. Cool.
What?
Become Muslim.
Okay. Well, you would have to become Muslim as well.
Of course I would.
All right. Cool.
Cool. Have a lovely day. God loves you. If you are interested in those videos, you watch. I suggest knowing God and Extraterrestrial Message. Watch 10 minutes of it. If it's nonsense, you won't watch any of the other videos. But I'd copy those videos and give 10 minutes to any video, and then you might think, "Oh, do you know what? Let me have a look at this."
Okay. I'll be sure to not do that. But thanks.
Why would you not do this?